5 p.m. we'll get started. Norma would be here in Alabama at a convention, so I'll be chairing her absence as deputy chair. First order of business is approving the latest meeting minutes. Make a motion. Second. Moving on to current business. Authorizing the submission of a 2016 consolidated funding grant application regarding the Times Union Center garage project.
Yes, DGS is looking for permission to submit the grant to help offset the cost of the Market Street egress that we have in engineering right now. If we do get the grant, we have the money in the capital plan for the egress, and this will just be matching funds if we can get it, and/or any work that we do in-kind work should match this grant.
Any questions for Mr. Latino? Get a motion to approve? Motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Authorizing an agreement with the Bottling Group, LLC, regarding pouring rights at the Times Union Center.
That would be Bob Belber. I don't know. Bob,
This is Pepsi, $45,000 plus, I think there's some kind of percentage added on to that, I'm not sure, I didn't look at the slip.
Yeah, Pat, let me take a look.
Letter
There
really
is,
explains it.
We park it until,
well, I think it explains right in his cover letter.
Yeah, I think the cover letter really lays it out.
File for extension and something else.
Yeah, the memorandum, right at the beginning. It's a little less than in the past, but he thinks they're gonna make up the difference with additional sponsorship dollars for events that interest them. Is that like the last paragraph there?
Yeah, it's 45,000. Pouring rights and incentives, 15,000, plus they're gonna take us 48.5, correct?
Yeah.
So they'll be getting 185 annually from us.
And we used to get 145 under the old agreement.
Plus they sponsor certain events in addition.
Right, and that's what he thinks that.
That'll make it up, yeah.
They'll make up the difference, right?
Yep.
With sponsors, so let that be.
Just get their name out there more by sponsoring
Okay.
events than they
we
would.
can
by-
vote on this without Mr. Belver here, right?
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can,
Yeah.
sure.
A motion to approve?
I'll move it.
All those in favor? Second? All those in favor?
Yep.
Number 3, authorizing an agreement with Omaha Electrical Incorporated regarding the lighting replacement project at the Times Union site.
Yes, we have put out a bid to replace the central lighting in the arena, to upgrade it to all LED lightings, and to also be able to serve the NHL, NCAA, and hockey national championship final sites, and along with broadcast level B events, which would greatly improve our chances on getting bigger tournaments in the arena. The lights are 25 years old, the shades are failing on them, and this is in the capital plan, and it would be for $1.425,8400.
Just to be clear, this is not part.
This is not part of the atrium project. This is a separate project completely. And as I mentioned, this will really enhance and will give us some energy savings cost, roughly between $7,000 to $10,000 a year in energy cost on the new lighting for the LED lighting.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Latino? Mr. Mowitz?
Is there any NYSERDA grants for this?
NYSERDA grants, that I don't know. If there is, the lighting contractors, we do have Odyssey Engineering that does all the surveying on them, and would be applying for any grants that, if there was any.
Connie,
We don't know.
Yes,
We don't know
Connie.
now.
We don't know going in.
Anybody have any other questions?
I guess I do. They're so low, it's kind of scary, though. I mean, do you have any history with this company?
Well, every one of these companies was we did a little bit of a pre-qualification. We had all the lighting fixtures were pre-qualified to make sure that everyone bid on the same exact lighting that was going into the arena. And they just came in. It's a little bit of a specialty thing, and they were the lowest responsible bidder.
Based in Latham.
Yeah. I was just wondering if you had any history with them with change orders? and
No,
such.
no, we have no, I mean, this project is a unique project.
Okay. Sounds
Any
good.
other questions?
But they do have to follow everything in the RFP right down the line. And, you know, especially, they can't switch out any lights on us. Everything is right there, what they have to use in order to get the qualifications.
Mr. Clanahan?
Any warranties on any of the light products?
I would imagine it's probably maybe 1 year, I would think.
That's important, because we've had some problems in the past with, at least the
Yeah.
lighting board,
Now-
breaking down somewhat early, getting moisture.
Yeah, this really isn't really more lighting board. This is really the fixtures themselves that are being changed out. You know, with a couple of controllers, but it's really the main lighting. And electrical, you do get some warranty. I mean, you know, you buy a TV, you get 30-day, you know, or 1 year warranty. Electrical is very difficult to get warranty on. But I'm sure there is as far as workmanship goes.
But we got warranties for the LED lights on the sign, right?
Yeah, well, that, what we did is, I think, are you talking the LED package for the atrium?
Right.
I think that was put into a different, was packaged for a 5-year warranty in that itself.
In the scope, yeah.
In the scope of the work. It's a little bit different, you know, a light fixture and a screen, you know, the controllers on the screen and the LED fixtures on the screen, you know, that's why we had the extra parts and stuff like that. Also, when you're doing the LED and you're going up that high, it's gonna cut down a lot on our maintenance costs for what we have up there in lighting now. Because they last, you know, LED lightings can last anywhere from 2.5 to 5 times longer than the regular lighting.
Could you let us know if there is any kind of warranty?
Yes, I could, yeah, I could.
Any other questions? Have a motion to approve? Second? All those in favor? Okay.
Yeah, would you like me to take the sweets for Bob since he's not here?
Well, we can, we know, they're 48.5 each, right?
Yeah, it's 48.5, I believe, if not all, the vast majority of them are current tenants,
Thank you.
all in good standing.
These are items 4 through 11,
Yes,
police agreements.
yeah, all standardized terms. I believe this gets us almost to 100% leased out for the next 3 years.
Members want to take a minute to look through there. If they have any questions, there's a lot of material. Are we okay, what's that?
You want to group them?
Yeah, if you want, that's up to you, you know,
Okay,
make
make a motion, or make a motion?
Make a motion to group all police agreements together.
These were all existing tenants, right, Bob?
Yes. I apologize for being late, folks.
Okay, can I get a second?
Ask a
You
question.
have a question, okay.
Just quickly, how many are outstanding at this point?
How many,
How many suites are outstanding?
there are 13 that came up for renewal, all 13 are being filled.
Do we have any vacancies?
We had one actually, it's not vacant yet, but it will be as of January 1st,
Okay.
which
That's
is,
the next
which is the Pepsi suite.
Gotcha.
Do we have a motion to group all these together? Second? So we'll group all these together. Are there any other questions for the lease agreements? Do we have a motion to approve? Mr. Feeney? Second, Mr. Fine. All those in favor? Item number 12, income statements.
So the,
Okay.
They know me.
Yes, go ahead.
what did,
Sure.
oh, good.
Mr. Valber, item number 2, I don't know if you could cover that a little bit better. Or cover it, since we didn't have an opportunity to discuss it.
Sure.
For
So-
the bottling.
Okay, so the pouring rights contract, which is coming up on an expiration of December 31 of 2016, it was a 10-year deal with Pepsi. We went out to an RFP. We had the same minimum dollar amounts in the RFP that are in the current contract, in hopes that we would at least keep that as a minimum, and then hope to get higher numbers from there. The quantity and volume of soda sales has decreased substantially in the past 3 to 5 years, to the point where Coke came back and actually said they weren't going to bid. Pepsi came back 2 days before and said they were not going to bid, based on the minimum dollar amounts that were, I recall, I think it was $95,000 for pouring rights and $48,000 for sponsorship dollars. Those were the minimum dollar amounts in the original RFP. After talking about this with Karen Storm and wanting to try to keep as many dollars as we could coming in for the county, I suggested to Karen that we should at least keep a minimum in of $45,000. But at the same time, the suite that Pepsi had received in the past as part of their benefits, if we could take the suite out and be able to lease the suite, get another $48,500 from somebody else, then the combination of the $48,500 and the $45,000 would get us closer to where we were originally. And so that's basically what happened. We extended the deadline for the RFP. We took away the minimum of what it was originally and went down to a $45,000 minimum, but we extracted the ability for them to use the suite. And in the meantime, we've got the first companies on the waiting list for a suite are Berkshire Bank and Caldwell Bankers. And the two of them want to share that suite. So we've got a letter of intent signed, we've got deposits, and that will be a piece of action, that RLA, that we'll be bringing for filling that suite, which would be effective as of January 1. So the revenue from January 1 going forward, collectively, between the $45,000 pouring rights fee from Pepsi and the ability for us to get the $48,500 from the suite that they otherwise would have used, will end up being as much as we possibly could get in the way of pouring rights.
You have a question, Mr. Carnahan?
In the new deal, they're getting 12 comp tickets for non-restricted events?
For non-restricted events. So what that
What are
means
those?
is, so non-restricted events would be certain Devil games, certain Sienna games, other events where we don't have to pay for the tickets and we can comp the tickets to that purpose. So it won't cost the county any money and therefore won't take away any of the dollars from the pouring rights.
And they used to have 12 for any, they used to have the suite, the 12 suite.
They used to have 16 tickets to all events, yeah,
Right, okay,
and they had the use of the suite.
right.
And they're willing to also consider sponsorship of individual events and/or teams on a case-by-case basis, but that's something that will be presented to them just as it would be to anybody else.
Did they talk with the Devils people, other people to enhance opportunities like that? And two-part question, does that also increase our ability to maybe land some of the big NCAA events, or?
Well, the NCAA events depends on whether or not, it doesn't matter per se if the soft drink beverage sponsor of the NCAA is Coke versus Pepsi. They'll
Okay.
play the building regardless.
Okay.
So it's not really going to make too much difference.
In a good or bad way?
Yeah, exactly. But the fact that they're willing to open the door, and they did open the door to say that they would consider sponsorship of events in general, and they have been a sponsor of the AHL team, they've been a sponsor of Sienna's outside of our pouring rights contract, and they're willing to continue those relationships and so forth. And if we have events that we take risk on, or that we're in need of making sure that our risks are reduced by getting sponsor dollars, I'm confident that we'll be able to get more dollars in. They just couldn't commit to it as part of the deal.
Okay.
Any other questions? Now move on to income statements. Does everyone have a copy of the period ending June 30, 2016?
Thank you. Thank you very much. So the month of June is historically a lower than normal booking scenario for us. Last year, we were down approximately $100,000 last year, a negative number, so I'm not surprised at the number that we're down. The concert that we had with Leonard Skinner and Peter Frampton was not well attended. And as a result of that, the projected revenues that we hoped to make on that were about $35,000 less than what we actually made. It was a profit, but it wasn't as big. So that's one of the reasons for that being off. But again, for the year end, we're still in good shape, and I think that it looks like we should make our numbers.
It looks like you're up 7 events over last year and 8 events over budget, right?
As far as number of events, yes,
Right, that's good.
yeah.
Strong.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that we always battle at this time of the year is a lot of the shows go outdoors. And the bigger names right now are going outdoors. 2 years ago, in 14, we had Justin Timberlake and Bruno Mars, and, you know, there's certain times when it seems like a trend where they'll go indoors with a summertime scenario. But this year is not one of those years. You know, most of the stuff's going outdoors.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry that I was late.
It's okay. Any questions for Mr. Belvin? Get a motion to adjourn? Second? Mr. Latina?
Yes, I have your answer for your warranty on
Yes.
the, it's 5 years parts and labor on the controllers,
Right.
15 years on the fixtures.
Excellent.
A second to adjourn? Second. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.